So, I need a new tank. Apparently, I just won some guppies in a live stream. What am I supposed to do now? Because, baby boy, where you at, baby boy? He's not too keen on sharing his personal space. And I can tell you right now, food, somehow, some way, is still in here swimming around surviving. He's got some type of instinct to stay alive. But I'm gonna have to go get a new tank. I'm thinking maybe a 10-gallon. That should do fine. So with that in mind, what I'm gonna start doing now is I have this biological propeller thingy from the Penguin that of course I'm not using, and I have some fake plants which are of course made out of plastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean these off, and I'm gonna dunk them down in here dunk them down into the Betta Kingdom so that they can get some beneficial bacteria growth on them, just to prepare for the tank. You know, early stage planning. That way, once I get the tank set up, I could just go ahead and put tap water in it, wait 48 hours, make sure all the chlorine is gone. I won't have to prime it or anything like that. And then I could put some of these up in there, and then run to the store and maybe get me some more ghost shrimp and a snail, and have them waiting on the guppies for when they come. So hopefully they're not here too quick. Those of y'all that don't believe in the law of attraction, check this one out. Told y'all I needed a new tank because I had won some fish. And talking to the neighbor, not to be all up in their business, but let's just say they're moving in, so some stuff has to move out. And they said they're throwing out stuff left and right. And I said, got any aquarium? She goes, I sure do. So I got me a nice little 10-gallon tank. So we're gonna get this thing cleaned up and cleaned out, and we're gonna water test it, make sure it holds water. Stay tuned. So here we go with the leak test. We're gonna give this, I think we're supposed to give it 48 hours, but I know it's at least 24. I'm gonna look it up, but at least until this time tomorrow, this will be sitting here right next to the sink where it can be easily dumped if we do see any signs of leakage. Well, here we are 48 hours later, and I am not seeing any signs of any leakage. And after looking at the dimensions, we're looking at 20 by 10 by 12 and a half. So I'm gonna say that this is a 10-gallon tank. And unfortunately, the lighting system is not operational. This was the original lighting system for the Betta Kingdom. That is also not operational. So, gotta add this to the shopping list. Saga continues. Stay tuned. By the way, got some, I guess you could say, local botanicals in there. Trying to get them waterlogged. We'll see how they do. So before I head out to the store, I figured I might as well go ahead and start this nice little slow siphon. And when it comes to these old vinyl tubings, 20 and 30 years old, they don't like bending. So I had to throw a Pyrex dish or a Pyrex measuring cup down there to kind of anchor the airline, and use the hole in the hood to get a little siphon running. Nice little trick. By the time I get back from the store, the water level should at least be down to there. Maybe then I could just tip it. Who knows? I might just make an adjustment. Matter of fact, let me try that now. Yeah, see, just a little bit lower. So I'd be down to, what, about 2 inches of water? That should be manageable for me to tip this over. See you when we get back. Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's late. Time for voiceovers. As you can see, we've got the remnants cuttings from Audrey 2, a nice long branch right there. But that plastic tie represents where we'll be above the water line. The rest of the the rest of these are bound together with pieces of that yellow line that was essentially dead, or dying rather. It is a natural tie, for the lack of a better term. And what we'll be doing is all of these nodes that are now missing their leaves will mostly be planted under the dirt substrate. And here we are inserting Audrey 2, and you'll have to forgive me. I was kind of fresh out the shower, as you can see. But yeah, what we did was we circled and circled and circled, just like we did inside of the Pothos experiment, and pretty much got everything planted and in place. Also, we put some of those leaves that were picked in there for composting. It is 3:45 a.m. and it is raining, and my dirt, my soil, is outside. Again, 3:45 a.m. So what I'm going to do, instead of opening up that loud front door, I'm going to gently open up the garage door, pull the bag of dirt inside, and put it in this pretty much new trash can, and plant and pack my soil from there. So I got the garage door open nice and quietly, and I'm using Miracle-Gro garden soil, the all-purpose one. This one has some good stuff in it, but it's not packed full of the Miracle-Gro stuff. In other words, it's their mid-level stuff. And shoot, you can't even see it in there, but I'm quite sure I got more than enough of what I need. And now that I look out there, light bulb moment, I might just do something with some of this mint. And in one of the potters were these clover plants. I'm not quite sure what they are, but they look pretty and they're going to be added to the mix. And I figure with the mint and with them, what's the worst that could happen? They die and they end up becoming part of the nitrogen cycle, feeding the other plants. Well, we'll see. Stay tuned. Unfortunately, the sad thing about having one of those light bulb moments, one of those bright ideas at 3 o'clock in the morning, is not doing due diligence and taking the time to Google the information. Because after getting all that good soil from outside, I decided, hey, why don't we just throw some mint plants up in the mix? Not realizing that mint is an oily plant, and that those oils will be released as the plant begins to die, and that oily menthol will irritate the fish's gills and affect their ability to breathe as well as swim. So what you see here is me planting a nice deep substrate, and unfortunately also those mint plants. This was in preparation for a nice thick sand cap, which is not shown yet. After I get this mint plant and that clover plant situated where I like them to be, then I'll go ahead and cap everything with some play sand that I received from Home Depot.
To stir that fire, University of Phoenix is awarding up to $1 million in scholarships through this month. See what scholarship you qualify for at phoenix.edu.
And here we are with the play sand purchased from Home Depot. And we've got a nice good 2, maybe 3 inches of dirt down in the bottom of the tank. And this is regular Sackcrete play sand from Home Depot, the 50-pound bag.
I can write you a prescription for that. If there's ever an emergency, she can get help with the touch.
After a couple of final adjustments with the plant and the light and the camera, of course, we take and cut the bag open, and we'll use a couple of plastic food containers to actually scoop the sand out, and starting with the corners, because I've already gotten things planted, add nice cap layer of sand. Now, generally speaking, you want to do twice the amount of sand as you have as dirt. I want to say that I did about an equal amount of sand as I did dirt, maybe a little bit more. But I started in the corners, of course, so that I could get around those plants, not just the mint plants, but the pothos as well. And of course, tried to get things a little more deep in the back, or a little more higher in the back. Now, unfortunately, I did not capture the process of me adding the water to the tank. But what I did do was I took some measurements so that I can get me a little piece of PVC to anchor down that air stone, because again, I'm using vinyl tubing that is very old. So that's going to be it for now, folks. Please remember that if you know anybody out there suffering from any mental illness, to reach out to them, because you never know what difference your reaching out can make. And also remember, folks, that winners aren't people that never quit. Winners aren't people that never failed. They're people that never quit, people that never gave up. So don't ever give up.